Reddit, what's your party trick? I can throw cards really fast and really hard. I'm pretty decent with my aim also, so I can knock down a game of Jenga from across the room. I'm Gambit. So I can knock down a game of Jenga from across the room. You should learn to knock a piece out without knocking down the Jenga. That would be freaking incredible. Homeless guy got a buck off me with this one. Homeless guy, I bet you a buck that I can knock down this pole. Homeless guy points to telephone pole. Me'll take that bet. Homeless guy then starts to knock with his knuckles all the way down the pole. I was completely okay with giving him my dollar after that. I have a tungsten wedding band that won't scratch or dent, so I open people's beer bottles with it. I recently attended a wedding and taught the groom I just met that trick. He then told me it was the best piece of advice he had received all day. The bride was not amused. One of my buddies learned to open bottles by prying off the cap with his teeth. It was pretty cool until he tried it one day and managed to remove one of his molars along with the bottle cap. I can whip up an awesome caricature in about 2 minutes. When I lived in the dormitories, Air Force, everyone had a whiteboard on their door. We'd get crap-faced and someone would always conjure up a dry erase marker for me to draw on people's doors. One weekend I did about 30 in a row. There were about 15 people following me from door to door, howling with laughter as I drew the face of the person who lived in each room. Good times. I can juggle. Juggling is only impressive if no one thinks you can do it. As soon as you force it into conversation, it seems really lame. Oh, see how I have 3 apples here? Wouldn't it be a shame if I were to throw them all in the air at the same time? Look at me. But when you're holding 2 things and somebody tosses you another and you just bust out some juggling for like 5 seconds, it's pretty sweet. I'm pretty sure it works the same for people who play the guitar. If they kind of bring a guitar or just pick one up and start playing, it isn't that impressive. If you throw a guitar at someone's face though and they start juggling it and then break into song, it's the best ever. I can dislocate my right shoulder. Thanks to this I can put my arm behind my head, reach down under my chin from the left side and up around to pull out my right contact. Also, I can pop it in and out. It makes a sound very similar to cracking your knuckles, but a lot louder. Usually get a few people to say gross. Perfect pitch. Play a note on the piano, any instrument. Really, I'll name it. Play up to 4-5 together. I'll name them with high accuracy. After that it gets a bit harder. When I was in high school, there was this weirdo at a college party I had gone to that night. His party trick was sticking nails up his nose, and explained to me that it was possible because the nasal cavity is so deep. He taught me how. I can still get a long nail about 6 inches up my nose. Naturally, I made out with him to show my gratitude. Dude, when I was little during an operation for getting a tonsil out of my throat through my nose, they accidentally cut my nose right at the part where it connects to my face, so now it's grown to be a little wider. I can stick my whole finger up my nose. Mother fricking chicken McNuggets. I don't have much talents to show off, but I always notice college kids bring booze to parties all the time and not often food. McNuggets make good party finger food and you can get like 50 for 15 bucks. Instant friends maker. This is genius and the only remotely useful tip I've found on here. I can unhook bras through a girl's clothes in a fluid single-handed move. Although I'm not ambidextrous, I can do this with my left and my right hand. The beautiful part is, if girls have never seen you do this, they immediately challenge you. Fun for all. My husband does this to me still, repeatedly. Pro tip, when you're married to the girl, it loses all its charm no matter how impressive it is. Shove a needle down the middle of a cigarette. Don't ash. Act like you don't see a thing as your cigarette turns to ash but doesn't drop. This sounds safe. Open a bottle of isopropyl, rubbing, alcohol, stick my whole thumb in the bottle opening, splash, invert the bottle so the thumb is soaking wet, then light my thumb on fire. For about 20 seconds, the evaporation of the alcohol cools the thumb more than the fire heats it. Then it starts getting warmer. By this time, everyone at the party is already impressed, annoyed as much as they're going to be, so I just flick my hand to put out the remaining flame before it burns me. I really want to try this, but it seems like the 4chan grow your own crystals crap all over again, and I don't want to burn my thumb off. So this is a great bar riddle I used to perform when I was a bartender. You need a glass plate with water on it, a wine glass, an olive, and a book of matches. Place the wine glass upside down on the plate of water and you'll see that there is no water on the inside of the glass. The riddle is to get all of the water on the inside of the glass. All you can use is the olive and a book of matches. What you do is stick a match in the olive and put it on the plate of water. Light the match and put the glass on top. A vacuum will be created from the match, burning up the oxygen under the glass. All the water will be sucked under. Have fun. With the aid of another drunk on the premises, I can smoke a whole pack of American spirits in a half hour, throw up, get pee like it's the cigarette's fault, and swear I'm going to quit smoking. I did this last weekend. Special guest star for Loco. This is totally dumb, but I have this pink glow in the dark nail polish. It looks bubblegum pink in the daylight, but in the dark it glows green. I like to paint my nails with it when I go to a party, and when everyone is properly drunk, I show people my glowing nails and their poor intoxicated minds are blown. I can open a beer bottle with anything. Best one so far, a piece of paper. My old manager taught me how to take the end of a champagne bottle off with a knife. I always liked that one. Beer seems more convenient, as I seldom find myself with a rogue bottle of champagne. I've done the I can tie a cherry stem in and not using my tongue trick, but here's how I do it. Cheat on the sly. Step 1. Tie a cherry stem into numerous knots. Keep in mouth. Step 2. Make a flip comment about how you used to be able to tie a knot in a cherry stem using just your tongue. Step 3. Inevitably, someone will want to see, so get the untied stem from them. Step 4. Put the supplied stem in mouth. Take a few seconds and act like you're doing something. Step 5. Pull the dual knotted stem out and show them, keeping the other stem in your mouth. Step 6. Enjoy watching them think you're tongue acrobat. I can feel a person's arms and tell you what instruments they play, up to 9. How often they play, and which one is their favorite, and I get to fondle arms while I do it. I can tell what instrument you play by feeling your breasts. I used to rip beer cans in half because I thought it asserted my alpha male status and was a guarantee in with the ladies, until one fateful night a jagged aluminum edge of a Bud Select reclaimed its vengeance on all of its fallen mangled brethren, and nearly sheared my finger clean off my hand. Blood was spilt, showering upon the once virgin carpeted floors, and I vowed on that day to never again take advantage of the feigned frailty of aluminum beer cans, and to live once again in harmony with them, utilizing them only for their intended purpose of liquid consumption. I can do that trick where someone draws a random card, writes the card number and suit on a little piece of paper, then lights that paper on fire. Then I rub the ashes on my arm and the card number and suit appears. I will expose how it's done. 1. Have a card in mind. Hearts are best because they are the easiest to draw. That'll be important later. Always have that card at the top your deck, or if you are good enough, get it to the top while shuffling a deck at someone else's house. Learn how to do a force. It's a simple trick, and the one I use is after shuffling I sit the deck of cards on the table and ask the person to split the deck, making 2 piles. On of the piles you know what the top card is. I then say some crap about getting ready and meditating. Then I take the pile of cards that they separated out and put it on top of the pile crossways, making a sign to mark where they split it. But really it's the top card that you know and not the middle where they split it. People will not notice this because you momentarily distracted them by meditating. After marking the middle of the pile, make another big deal about concentrating on what card it is. Then ask them to take that card from the middle and write down the suit and card number, then fold up the paper in an ashtray and light it on fire. 2. Before all this, go to the bathroom. While you're in the bathroom, use either a corner of a wet bar of soap, small amount of Vaseline on a tip, or some clear chapstick to draw the card on your arm. This will leave a bit of a film on your arm. Now you know why hearts are the best cards for this trick. If you use Vaseline, make sure you use a very small amount as it tends to smear. 3. After the paper stops burning, rub the ash on your arm. The ash will stick to the soap Vaseline chapstick and people will be amazed. I predict you're about to be blackballed from the Magician's Alliance just like Gob. 1. You need an empty beer bottle and any dollar bill or whatever paper currency your country uses. Put the bill on a table and balance the empty beer bottle upside down on top of it. Tell people you can keep the money if you can get it out from under the bottle. But the bottle has to remain upside down on the table and you can't not touch the bottle. Almost everyone will try yank the bill out really fast, like the tablecloth trick. This should fail 95% of the time. How you do it is, you slowly roll the bill, and you'll be able to nudge the bottle off the bill, bit by bit while it remains upside down. 2. Requires 2 empty beer bottles and paper currency. Put a beer bottle on a table normally, then put the money on that, but don't put it right in the center. Have 3/4 of the bill hanging off the left, then put the second bottle on top of that, this one upside down. You tell the person that they can keep the money if they can get the note out without touching the bottles, and keep the bottles balanced how they are. How you do it is, assuming you're right-handed, take the fingertips of your left hand and grab the very edge of the bill so as to straighten it. Careful, then moisten your right index finger, suck it for a couple of seconds, then hit down on the note with the moistened finger like a hammer, and it should come right through without moving the bottles. 3. The 5 questions game. Tell someone that you're going to give them 5 questions, and all they have to do is get them all wrong. To make sure they understand, give them a simple example, like, for example, if I say what year is it, you say 1920 or something. So proceed with 3 extremely simple ones. Even use the example again if you want. The 3 I go with are 1. What year is it? 2. What is your name? 3. What city are we in? Then you get to the 4th question. Here, you ask how many questions was that so far, but say it in an over-the-top way, so that the person will think that this is where you are trying to trick them. They will think they are being clever and say 20 or whatever. Here you have to do some good acting. Act defeated and be like, nicely done. Good job. Seriously, have you played this before? No, got you on the last question. 4. Simple as frick. Put a glass upside down on a table and tell the person to balance some nearby object, a lighter, an orange, whatever on the top of the glass. They put it on the glass and think they've won. Then you say that's the bottom. Stupid hand magic. I pinched my thumb and index finger together to make a circle on both hands. Put my hands behind my head, come back out and the rings are together. I ask you to blow on them and they magically come apart. Stuff like that. Ladies, contain your orgasms. I've lit my titties on fire for a couple birthdays and bachelor parties. All you need is a pack of matches, a good deal of saliva, and a whole bunch of bravery. It's good fun. The guys can blow out my nipples like little candles. I want to party with you. I have push-up contests with my boyfriend's army buddies. It started when we were all pretty drunk and for some reason someone challenged me. I ran to the bathroom before the contest and my boyfriend tried to talk him out of it. I smoked him. I am 5 feet tall, 120 pounds and he didn't know I was a personal trainer. Side crow pose. It's a yoga thing. Oh, and cartwheels. Unfortunately I wear dresses a lot at parties. But by the end of the night, WHO cares, WHO sees my underwear, am I right? Start telling people you can do magic tricks, but you don't really like to perform them. Get an attractive girl interested. Cave in and offer to do a trick. Tell her you will close your eyes and she has to write her number on a folded piece of paper and place it in your hand. When she does, open your eyes, say thanks, and walk away. Find her later, at the party, of course, and give her the number back. Apologize. Say it was for the joke. Get a real number. Lucky numbers. 17, 28, 18, 53, 73, 14. This is a fortune cookie. I've always liked the fireball. Hold your hand in a loose fist, above your thumb and pointer, fill your fist cavity with lighter gas, a normal big. Don't spark it, just hold down the button thing. After a few seconds light the entry to the fist cavity and you can throw around a fireball. I can't tell if this actually works or I'm going to set my hand on fire. This one is always fun. Here's how it works. You ask some person to count like this. 5, 55, 555, 5555, 55,555, 555,555, but to keep going until you tell them to stop. Let them count. They're probably going to screw it up to about 5,555,555. Then tell them, stop. Don't think. Name a vegetable. Prior to this, you've already written down carrot on a piece of paper while they watch. Don't let them see what you're writing. Done. Most of the time, they'll say carrot. You casually flip over the paper and wink. Pro tip, this works best on people of normal intelligence. Oh, and if they don't say carrot, you look impressed and say, interesting. Most people of average intelligence say carrot. Only 10% of the people say whatever she said. Pro tip, this works best on people of very low intelligence who say tomato. Other fun trick. Spell silk. S-I-L-K. What do cows drink? Milk. Nope. Water. It's even more fun when they spell it out. That's some R4 words from grandma level crap right there. This is also a really easy way to get 10 bucks. 1. Get 2 cups full of any liquid. 2 pieces of paper. Crush both pieces paper into a ball, and the money you're betting. 2. Tell them they can have the money if they copy exactly everything you do. 3. You start with the paper ball on one side. Let's just say the right side of both people. You move it to the left. They follow. You move it back to the right. They follow. Then you take a sip out of the drink, but you don't swallow. Wait a second. Look at them. Spit the drink back into the cup. 4. 5. Profit. Crippling social anxiety and crying in the corner really gets the crowd going. Or reciting pi to 15 decimal places. I'm a pretty cool guy. 5 years of playing guitar has taught me the ever popular party trick, douchebag. I don't like to whip it out too often. It cheapens it. I can solve a Rubik's Cube. It's hilarious when people try to mix it up so much that they think you'll never be able to solve it. I can tell what a woman ate for lunch by the taste of her farts. By the end of the party, I have a lot of drunk women farting on me and I get to taste all their sweet farts. I can lick my elbow and, in advanced party trick mode, both at the same time. My favorite is when someone tells me it's impossible so I do it and then the entire party spends the next 5 minutes trying to lick their elbows. Write down the Roman numeral 49 somewhere. 9. Bet people that you can turn that number into a 6 in one stroke. Feed on the disbelief. Add in an S and blow everyone's minds. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.